Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, it's just a video I'm gonna call I Kill Plants Too. I've killed plants too. I've made some plant mistakes. A lot of you guys have checked out my beginner friendly plant video, my starter plant video, and said you guys would like to see more plant video from me. And I was like, well, let my next video be, geared toward those folks who feel some type of way because they've killed some plants. Now, we've all killed some plants. Even your best faves, your plantarenas over here on YouTube will admit that she herself too has killed some plants, and it's totally fine, especially coming out the gate. We gotta learn through some trial and error. Now the thing is not to kill too many plants. Like, let's not kill 50 plants. Then at a certain point we gotta come to realize maybe we don't have that green thumb we thought we did. But some of the mistakes, I'm gonna list 5 common mistakes today where I've made them myself, and I still continue to make myself throughout having plants. Some of the common mistakes that I've noticed that I've made and a lot of you guys make, and some of the telltale signs that you guys can look for to notice what's going on with my plant and kind of dictate it. Now, all the stuff I'm saying is not 100% like that's exactly what's wrong with your plant, and you have to 100% listen to me because plants can be finicky, but I'll at least try to gear some common general mistakes and general signs that I've seen in my plants that can kind of help you with your plants. And the first issue, I have to come on here and show my MistAire Deliciosa. Can you guys see this plant? When you start seeing a lot of yellowing and a lot of browning of a leaf, what I've noticed with a lot of my plants, what that means is that it's going through an over-watering situation. Now, this plant is the best example that I have of me, over-watering a situation. You might be like, Leah, why do you still even have that situation? I have it because I knew I was going to film a video where I talked about my faults at some point, and I needed this to showcase my faults. Now, one telltale sign for me that I've noticed in my house plants. Now again, everything I'm saying is not 100%, it's the sign for every single house plant. Sometimes this can mean a nutrient deficiency or needs more fertilizer, but for me, I know 100% when I see some yellow like this and I see some brown combination, it's a over-watering situation. This bad boy was this color, and now it's this color. It's a part of the same kind of leaf right here. And a good telltale that you can tell that I overwatered this is the root rot that's going on right now. This root is very disgusting looking right now. It's really showing its real colors. That's a good sign of the fact that I've overwatered this plant. I have another MistAire Adansonii, which you see the yellow right here and the brown right here. I was able to kind of stop this overwatering and it kind of dried out, and so now this plant is kind of doing me well. It's still kind of growing, but in the beginning stages, when I first got this plant, I ordered this online. It only had these 4 leaves, and me not knowing, hey, I ordered it online. Did the person before me water it before she sent it to me? Oh well, who knows? I'm gonna water it again. No. I made a mistake and I overwatered. I think it's true to form that we always want to water our babies. We want to always give it water. We want to walk around every 2 days and give it water. No, ma'am. Overwatering is a true thing, and you have to kind of know your plant to kind of understand its watering schedule. I know MistAires for me don't want to be watered all the time. You gotta and for a lot of plants, let the top 2 layers of soil get dry before you start watering again. And what I mean is, for me, used to be me sticking my finger in it, seeing if that first 2 inches was kind of dry. But me being the person I am, was getting tired of getting my nails dirty, so I decided to get a moisture meter. A moisture meter is a great indicator, a great tool to use to kind of measure the moisture of your plant. So all you have to do is stick it in. I watered this plant maybe 2 days ago, so I know it's probably wet. And if you go in, it says it is all the way wet, super wet. So I do not need to water this for a while. I think investing in a good moisture meter, again, I got this one from Amazon, but you can get it from any Lowe's, any home improvement store, any nursery. They have these for what, $7.99, $8.99. Very affordable and very easy way to, without sticking your finger in every single plant, to see if the bottom of the soil is moist. Again, you do not want to overwater your plants and turn them into a yellow hot mess like I have in the past. You want to make sure that the top 2 inches of your soil is dry before going in and watering that plant. And that's for most plants. That's not for all plants. I'm going to get to a plant in a minute who is very finicky about his watering situation. That is the #1 common mistake, is the overwatering of plants. And the common sign of that for me is that little bit of yellow with that little bit of brown on there. Now, going a little bit into the issue with how I overwatered this goes into tip #2. We love our little fancy pots. I love it clearly for my other plant too, but this one is actually in its nursery pot. So it's actually, let me see if I can double hold this. This is in a nursery pot inside of a decorative pot. So this one's a little different. This one is fully in this decorative pot. I think contributed to its root rot. So tip #2 is make sure you're choosing the right pot for your plants. Make sure that you're using one that has a lot of drainage holes. This has one drainage hole, which ain't bad. At least it has one drainage hole, but it's better to have drainage holes on all, kind of like maybe 3, 4, several drainage holes that the water can go out of. The issue is, I think with this plant, that the water pooled. It wasn't all able to leave, so that's why the roots got rotted the way that this plant's roots rotted. It's the drainage hole situation, and you want to make sure that if you want to repot, now you don't have to repot. That's another tip. As soon as you get a plant, you don't have to repot. I think about 70% of my plants are still in the pots that I got them in their nursery pots. I just put them in other pots. You do not need to repot unless your plant is outgrowing its previous pot, and you can tell that by the roots. Sometimes looking at the root system, you can tell a root that is very much so coiled around the plant and doesn't have enough soil to kind of get its nutrients from. Then you need to put it in new soil and to bump it up a little bit. So take it from a 4-inch pot to a 6-inch pot, from a 6-inch pot to an 8-inch pot. You have to bump it up a little bit. So you have to make sure that your pot has adequate drainage holes, because when you do water it, you need that water to go somewhere. It cannot just pool at the bottom, because you will have root rot and you will have this. Now, another situation, I talked a lot about overwatering, but how do you know when you're underwatering? What is the sign of underwatering, girl? A telltale sign of underwatering is this plant, and I'm gonna grab it right now. This bad boy right here. This is a Majesty Palm. I'll see if I can kind of tilt it a little bit more so you can get the body of this Majesty Palm. So majestic. So majestic. But as you can see, this little piece beside me, it is totally brown. Now, total brownness to me, there's no yellow. As you can see, it's very, very much so brown. Let's see if I have another brown plant. This little plant right here has a little bit of brown. So it's no yellow. It's just brown. And unlike that Monstera Deliciosa where there's some yellow, this is just brown. For me, what I've noticed when a plant is just brown like this, so it's just brown, no yellow, it means underwatering. And I know for a fact that was the issue with this plant, because I got this Majesty Palm from IKEA. It was $14. IKEA has a lot of Majesty Palms. Very good place to get them for affordable, because I saw them at Lowe's for like $30 and I saw them at IKEA for $14. So there was nothing wrong with the fact that it was from IKEA. It was something wrong with me, the user. When I first got it, I put it kind of in a corner because it said it was kind of low light. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw it was browning a little bit, and I was like, oh no. So I moved it to a highlight situation, and then it still was browning. And then I looked online and it said, this plant likes to be moist, girl. You need to moisten that plant. So I went and I watered it, and it stopped the browning a little bit, but you have to keep constantly watering this plant. This is a plant that does like water. This is a plant that does like wet soil. I have another palm that is actually thriving and doing well. I learned from the mistakes of this palm a little bit, in the sense that I traveled a lot for work, and I ran into the issue that I couldn't keep up with the watering of it. And that's another thing. If you know you're somebody who cannot keep up with the watering of it, don't overwater. Don't get that plant then. You know, with this palm, I learned my lesson in the fact that I have a job where I know I'm going to be gone a lot, especially during the fall season for recruiting and all that. So unless I'm going to hire somebody to come in and water my plants for me, if I'm going to figure out a kind of a self-watering dropper situation or something like that, I cannot keep a palm. Again, underwatering is an issue, and underwatering a lot of times is just this browning situation. Yellow and brown gives me overwatering. Just brown by itself tends to lead me to believe it's a underwatering situation. So again, make sure you kind of know your plant and how it rains. And when you see a little bit of brown coming in, a lot of times it can be saved. If I had looked and kept my eye on this plant a little sooner, I would have been able to notice the browning a lot sooner. Number 4 tip, humidity. Make sure your house has the level of humidity for the plant you're bringing in. plant. Make sure that you have checked on the plant's humidity level. Make sure that your house can accommodate that before you bring that plant in. So with petunias, a little bit can tell you about the humidity, or if it needs a little bit more humidity, is their leaves will curl a little bit. This plant needs a little bit more humidity, so I have to move it back to another spot where it gets a little bit more humidity, but the leaves will curl for that. To talk about a plant that I lost, there was a beautiful variegated alocasia that I had. I'll insert a picture of it right now. It was white. I was so proud of it, loved it so much, ordered it, and I got it immediately. And then I started doing some research into it. No, I should have did research before. It likes the humidity level of 60% in a place. They need about 60% humidity, and I was like, oh no. Most homes only have maybe between about 25, I'd say, to 45 in your average home. In my home right now, I have a humidifier. I have 2 going right now. My humidity is 52. I got this humidity checker from Amazon. Very affordable too. It kind of lets me know, 1, what the temperature in my house is, as well as 2, what the humidity is in my home. Again, I have a humidifier going, so it's 52, but before that, the relative humidity in my home used to be about 30. And I got that allocation, and I didn't have a humidifier at that time, so there was no way that plant was going to survive. It needed the humidity. Some plants need a little bit of humidity. One way to kind of give it a little bit, now the misting is great. Misting is great for a lot of plants. For that alocasia, it was not going to save it. I could have done all the misting in the world. I would have had to sit there and mist it all day for it to live. And when I say MistAire, I use this MistAire. I got it from Hobby Lobby, and you know, just spray your plants, just spraying a couple plants. Misting is good to bring up the humidity and bring a little bit of humidity to your situation, but for some plants it's just not going to be enough. Some plants can thrive in a normal low humidity area, like all the plants I showed you in my beginner friendly plant video. All of them can thrive in the normal humidity settings and normal home settings, the snake plants, the ZZs and all that. So some plants are going to need a higher humidity. Now I have, again, like I mentioned, 2 humidifiers. I'll link below both links for both of them. One is a little bit more high powered. I keep that in my bedroom. One is a little bit cheaper, a little bit low powered, but I like that one as well. It does bring up the humidity, and it can run for a long time with only a little bit of water, so I do like those as well. So if you're going to venture into more exotic plants, more like alocasias, make sure you know the humidity level of that plant before you bring it into your home, because you might not have a home that can accommodate that plant and it will die. You could water it all you want. You can make sure you don't overwater. You can make sure you put it in the most pretty pot and it has all the drainage holes you want, but if it does not have that humidity that that plant needs, it will die. And the last sign or signs that your plant is not doing well is your leaves falling off your plant. That is a sign that your plant may not be getting the sun that it needs, and that's what I've learned in my experience. Again, leaves falling off could also be, you know, the seasons change. Sometimes when you are inside, your plant still leaves fall in the fall just like they do outside. For example, this plant right here, Piccolo Banda. This is a peperomia variation of plant. This is what it looks like currently. I'll insert a picture of what it looked like when I first got it. So proud of when I first got it. If you can notice, big full stems. It looks kind of like what this would look like in the future, right? My prior picture looks like what this should look like in the future. So what happened was, I again had this last fall when I was going and traveling a lot for work, so I didn't give it the attention that it needed to, and I would just keep coming home from all my travels and seeing leaves falling, leaves fail, and I'm like, what is going on? So I repotted it. I put it in this pot right here, this decorative pot. It used to be in this nursery pot. It still kept seeing leaves falling. It was kind of far away from a west facing window, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And then I was finally at the point where I had lost all the leaves. I had 1 leaf left, and I was like, okay, so this last straw, Celia, move the plant and see what happens. Move it to the sun. So I put it fully in the sun, not like full sun, but I put it in an east facing window close to the window itself. It came back and it came back, and it's in this coming back phase right now. So it's coming back. When I tell you there was nothing here, there was 0 leaves. It was just literally the stalk and like the stem and the root, and I was like, we're gonna see what happens. Leaves falling can be a big indicator that you have your plant in the wrong sun and the wrong lighting. When you first get a plant, you're not going to automatically know the perfect place to put it, because there's going to be some trial and error. You feel like you've watered it, you feel like it's in the best pot, but you see some leaves falling, and you don't see it turning yellow, you don't see it turning brown, you just see leaves falling. That is a big indicator that it's in the wrong sun. So you're going to have to play around with figuring out where it needs to be. The thing is, once you find a spot though, once a plant is doing well with the water, water, with the pot, with the sun and everything, do not move that plant. Do not move. Keep that plant where it is. It's acting good. It's acting right. Do not get crazy and say, well, oh, it's doing good now. Let me move it to another place. Oh, no, no, no. It could have a drastically different reaction in a whole nother spot. So you leave that plant where it is and you say, I've done my job. That's the thing about plants. Those are kind of common issues. So if you see some browning, if you see some yellowing, if you see some curling of your leaves, if you see some leaves dropping, if you see some of these issues, these are some things that I've noticed in my plants too, and I've been able to catch and I've been able to kind of take care of. If you notice those same issues, I think some of these tips are just kind of basic common issues that can kind of help you and help you grow your interior houseplant jungle like I've grown my jungle. Now, if you have any other questions about anything else you're seeing with your plants, if you're noticing some things and you want me to answer those questions, leave them down below and I can answer them for you. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up even if you didn't enjoy it. We want all the love and support over here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of this good content that I produce for you, and make sure you have that notification bell on so you can be alerted as soon as I upload a new video. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram at LeahLevon89 so you can keep up with my shenanigans in real time, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Girl, she a fine like the sunrise. The way she move make a man cry. I'm feeling her so I want